Hi frequent flower subscribers and happy new year. So today we are working with eucalyptus. You know everyone loves eucalyptus. And we are also working with stock. Now this is definitely a favorite of ours here in the shop if people are looking for scent. So often flowers now don't have a strong scent. The way they are produced to last longer, usually the scent is the first thing to go. But stock has this spicy, sweet, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's related to the turnip family or like radishes. So if that can kind of give you an idea of sort of that spicy, sweet scent, it makes a lot of sense, especially sometimes when you see the roots coming in off of stock. It can definitely remind you of turnips and radishes. So they're in that family. These come in an array of colors: creams, purples, pinks, lavenders, almost a bluish lavender. They are wonderful for weddings. If you know, more of white and ivory colors, they're so beautiful. So we're gonna go back to the basics today, and we are just gonna talk about how to arrange your flowers in a basic vase. This is Flower Designing 101. If you've been with us for a while, you could probably skip this one unless you just want a refresher. It's always good just to kind of pick up a few new tips that you might have missed the first time around. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is choose a vase that's going to be appropriate for our flowers. I've got two styles of vases here. This is what we would call a kind of a standard garden style vase, a little bit of a wider middle, but a narrower neck that then flares out. Where this is more of a cylinder kind of straight vase, this neck flares a little, but not too much. It's much easier to design and get a round bouquet in a vase that's got a flared neck like this and has kind of that narrower neck. It's just gonna hold your flowers in place a little bit better. Whereas if we work in a vase like this, it tends to want to just stand straight up. If you were doing a linear design, this is perfect. But if you're wanting kind of that more round garden style bouquet, it's a little bit more difficult for a beginner to do it in this style vase. So we're gonna start here. I've got fresh, clean water in there. I have added my flower food already. And we're gonna start with our greenery. So with our eucalyptus, we're gonna give all of it just a little bit of a trim. And I'm gonna start placing my greens in the vase and placing them at an angle so that my stems crisscross. If you've been with us for a while, you've heard me say it probably 100 times. You wanna cross your stems to create a grid. By doing that, it's gonna help your flowers stay in place. Have you ever designed and everything just kind of flops to one side? You probably didn't have a strong enough grid to hold your flowers. So by crisscrossing our stems, we create that grid. We want to make sure any of the foliage that might go below the water line is removed. So the first thing that happens usually when those leaves are below the water line is mold and bacteria starts to grow, and that is going to shorten the vase life of your flowers. And I'm just sort of working all the way around the vase. Honestly, just a vase of eucalyptus on its own is beautiful. It is aromatic. The smell of eucalyptus in your home can definitely help you if you've sort of got a stuffy head. I do right now, so this is wonderful. But it is also a flower that dries really well. We also have customers that come in and buy it by the stem or by the bunch to place in their shower. So whenever that hot water hits it, it kind of creates that steam vapor, really relaxing and good for sinuses as well. So now that we've got our greenery, we're gonna start with our stock. Again, we wanna remove any of that foliage that's below the water line. And the foliage of stock can sometimes get a little soft quickly, so I don't actually mind just removing all of the foliage before I begin. I might leave a few petals up top or a few of the leaves up top. And the way stock blooms is from the bottom up. So you'll see that you have little buds up here. These may not actually ever open, but they're beautiful on their own. But if you have any blooms toward the bottom that just look like they are tired and they have lived a long, wonderful life, just go ahead and pluck those bottom blooms off. It's not going to hurt the flower at all, and you're still gonna get to enjoy the other blooms for a while. Honestly, these are all pretty fantastic. These are fresh from the farm, directly shipped to us, and that way they last even longer for you guys. Let me see though. Okay, well, just for funsies, we're gonna pick off a bloom. So you can just grab, so say this bloom is looking a little sad, you can just grab the lateral and just pull it off. It smells so good. Okay, so we've got all of our foliage removed. And I'm gonna start by doing about 4 stems going at the angles, sort of between where I've placed my eucalyptus, just to continue to build that grid. Often when you're working with a vase, you want to think about the height as well to make it feel balanced. So the typical rule of thumb is for your vase, you can go another vase and a half high, and that would be proportionate. So if our stems are long enough, we might try to get some height like this. Otherwise, we'll just kind of keep it low and lush, and that's okay too. This is not about being designer of the year. This is just about enjoying fresh flowers, enjoying the process of designing and getting to be a little creative and something out of your ordinary everyday. So I've got my 4 kind of low. Now I'm gonna look for my longest stem. They're about the same. And I'm gonna make that my center point. And I'm gonna go right down in the center through that grid so that it should stand nice and tall and strong. Look at that. Now I can keep going in and working my way around with my other stems to fill out my vase. So we talked about how you can use eucalyptus in other ways and that it will dry really well. So won't your stock. So if you hang them upside down, make sure that you're not bunching them too tightly together, but giving them airflow between. They will also sort of delicately dry and keep their scent as well. So these would be great flowers after you've enjoyed them for a little bit. If you want to dry them, you could take them and create small little bunches and hang them upside down to dry. Now that you've got your vase arranged, every few days, you're going to want to take them out of the water, rinse that vase out with soap and water, give it new water, recut your stems, and place them back in your vase. That is going to help your flowers last longer. Again, get rid of any of that bacteria that could be growing in there. If you need more flower food packets, we always have them here available at Main Street Florist. Happy to give them away so that you can continue to enjoy your blooms a little bit longer. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next month.